Bookends. Welcome to this week's 10-minute book review. I'm 10. So this week we're going to be reviewing The Similars by Rebeca Hanover. I believe it's Hanover. Every book review, we like to start off with a star grade, as in out of 10 stars, how many stars did this book get? And also a rating, as in if this was a movie, would it be rated PG, or like, would it be rated? And sorry about how sweaty I look. It is hot where I am, but I had to turn off the fan and the air conditioner so it didn't make the buzz noise. But I have my African fan, so we are going to work this out. So as a star point, this book is a 1. If I could give it 0 stars, I would have, but I don't think that would be fair. So it is a 1. This is a 1-star book. I recommend this to no one. You're going to find out why during the review, but not recommend it. Rating, I would say a PG-13. If it wasn't a movie, I wouldn't go to see it. I don't think many people would. But yeah, this would be a PG-13. And so getting right into it. Okay, so this is supposed to be modern times. So it's not supposed to be the future. It's not supposed to be the past. It's modern times. There's a girl by the name of Emmeline who is mourning the loss of her best friend Oliver, who's a guy who committed suicide over the summer. And of course, these are all rich kids. Everybody's a rich kid. They're in a boarding school for rich kids. So she's coming back to school and she has like some really nice high tech. Actually, I can't say it's modern times, but it could be modern times because rich people have nice things. So she has like this smartwatch that's kind of like an Apple smartwatch, except it talks to her and stuff. Anyway, yeah, she's mourning the loss of her best friend Oliver. And when she gets back to school, she finds out that not only were clones of different people in the school made, but these clones are coming to this school specifically. So it's very contrived. It's like, oh my god, there are clones, and oh my god, they're coming to this school. And there are some people who don't like the idea of the clones coming to the school. There are some people who are okay with it. Here's my problem that comes in, right? So all of the clones that are coming to the school, right, they're based off of people who are already in the school. So it's like somebody just stole these people's DNA when they were babies, like when maybe from the umbilical cord or what have you, stole their DNA, created these clones, raised said clones on the island, and then decided that these clones should go to this expensive boarding school with these rich kids who they were cloned after. There's no mention that the doctor who cloned them was rich, so I don't even know how they're able to afford tuition. We're not even going to speak on the legal ramifications of this, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal to steal someone's DNA and then create a counterpart of them. Like if someone was to... So I found this out when I was trying to get pregnant and going through different treatments to get pregnant. Did you know that if you impregnate yourself with someone else's embryo without their permission, or impregnate yourself with someone else's sperm or egg without their permission, that is illegal? Right? If an accident happens, like a mix-up happens in a hospital or something, that's one thing. But if you do that on purpose, that is illegal. That is in some states considered a felony. Right? Because you're mixing someone else's gene pool with yours and they did not require, or ask, for that. So that's illegal. So this book wants us to believe that this person stole, right? Because the parents didn't give this person permission to take the DNA from their babies. So this person stole the DNA from these rich kids, created children, raised said children, and now is having those children go to school with the originals. And we are to believe, now this isn't just a private school for rich kids, it's also a private school for rich smart kids. So you have to pass a test to get in. You can't just say mom got money, daddy got money. So you have to pass a test to get in. So we are also to believe that these children, these clone children, who are raised on an island are just as smart as these other children. So yeah, we're just gonna ignore the legal part of it and pretend like all this is just hunky-dory, okay? So each one of these clones has a similar name to the original. Like, one of her friends has a clone. Her friend is named Pippa. No, her friend is named Prue. I think it's Prudence, but they call her Prue. And her friend is... Okay, her friend is named Prue, and her friend's clone is named Pippa. So that's how it goes. Each clone... Like, if a person was named Adam, his clone would be Alan. So, of course, the clones come to the school, and one of the clones is of her dead best friend, Oliver, except his name is Levi. And so I thought this was very contrived, because each one of the clones, right, has a name like their original. Like, the first letter is the first letter of the original. Except for Levi, who's the clone of Oliver. I think it was just the author's way of trying to throw people off. Like, oh, wow. No, it didn't throw anyone off. And you could tell that he was going to become the love interest from the way that she, like, hated him at first sight. And he's a jerk to her. I hate the trope where two people fall in love because one of them is a jerk to the other and the other one hates them. Like, oh my god, that is not how real life works. Most people, like, if a guy is a jerk to me, I love me. I love me a lot. Most people love themselves. If someone is an obvious jerk to you the first time you meet them, the second time you meet them, the third time you meet them, most likely you're not gonna want to be in a relationship with them because they're a jerk. I don't care about someone's backstory in real life. If you're a jerk to me, I am not going to share my time to be in a relationship. I'm not going to share my gene pool to have children. I'm not going to share my life to get married. Because that's not how life works. If you get with a jerk is going to stay a jerk. It doesn't matter how it is they were raised. A jerk is a jerk. And anyway. So yeah, you can tell who the love interest is because of all the clones. Levi is a jerk to her, and so she's gonna fall in love with Levi. Also, Levi is a little more muscular than Oliver was. Another pet peeve I found with this book was that there was no diversity. I think there was like one black kid with the cool kids, but it felt like he was a token Negro. He wasn't fleshed out. He just was kind of mentioned, and then that's it. So we have one token Negro, and then everyone else is just incredibly thin and fit. So there was no diversity in this book. Basically everyone looks alike, and I'm not saying that because the clone situation. I'm saying that's because how it's written. Everyone looks alike. Everyone's thin and fit. The heroine of the book, Emmeline, it's just, she's stupid. I don't want to sound mean, but she's stupid. Like, there's a part in the book, I don't want to give away spoilers in case someone does decide they want to read this, but there's a part in the book where the bad guy is like telling her to leave, like, you can go. And she's scared, right? And instead of just leaving, she keeps talking to the guy like, okay, but you can let me go. Guy's like, go. You can leave. If you let me go, I won't tell anyone. Okay, you can go. Bye. If you let me go, like, dude, he told you to leave. Well, not he. I don't want to say he because I don't want to give it away. The person told you to leave. So go. There were so many tropes in this book. I think the only trope that they didn't explore was the love triangle, and they almost kind of, but it was just... It felt like somebody was told by a publisher or by a publicist, you have this, and this. You have these marks to hit in order for this to be a YA that we can sell. And the author didn't even try to write a story. They just tried to hit marks, put names on those marks that they're hitting, and then publish a book. I was really looking forward to this book too because I read the blurb for it online. It was on sale at Barnes & Noble's when I got it. It looked very interesting, and the idea of clones being put into a school with regular people and the ramifications of that sound interesting, but the book just went downhill. even like the plot of it, like the bad stuff that happens, is so Scooby-Doo-ish. It's literally, to me, it felt like someone watched a whole season of Scooby-Doo and then decided to write a book. Like, I would have got away with it. Like, it felt like Scooby-Doo. So this, I wish I could tell you something more about this book, but it feels like telling you stuff is going to be a spoiler, and I don't want it to be a spoiler review. Let me think, is there anything else I can tell you? Emmeline, of course, falls in love with Levi. Levi's a jerk. Oliver is dead. Prue is manic, because of course every main character has to have a manic best friend, of course, right? Because that's why they have to have a manic best friend. The adults don't understand anybody, right? Because it's YA, so adults have to be like, we don't understand kids, arg. Even though adults really do understand teenagers for the most part. It's just, you don't want to hear that your teen is doing certain things. Like, you don't want to believe that your teen is doing certain things. But I don't have a teenager, but yeah, most parents don't want to believe their kid is doing certain things, but most adults do understand what's going on. They just don't like it. The end really burned my biscuits because it, okay, so the end irritated me because it didn't make any sense, right? It was supposed to be like this cliffhangery, I don't want to say well, kind of a cliffhanger kind of a thing. I think this is going to be like a trilogy. I won't be checking in for it, but the ending was supposed to be a shock, but it wasn't a shock. It was stupid. It would be like if I tell you I wrote a story about a cat. Now this is the blurb. This story is about a cat who loves to eat cat food and play with cat toys and do cat things. And then later on you find out I'm talking about a zebra. Sounds stupid, right? Yeah. Okay, there is one part in the book where she gets into this elite group where it's supposed to be the elite 10 or something in the school. And so I guess in a way she's happy that she got in, and her best friend got into, her girl best friend, not her guy best friend, because her guy best friend is dead. And the way to get in is the school gets you in, right? The administrators get you in because they're like, okay, it's only people who make the best grades are able to get in. So she, of course, she's the main person, she's the protagonist, so of course she doesn't want to do these special things because she has to not want to do them or be a part of them, but she just gets it thrust upon her anyway. So yeah, she's a part of this elite group of 10 students that get special privileges, and apparently the elite 10, they have to be hazed in. Now, hazing is illegal. It's illegal for adults in college to haze people. But apparently we're just going to ignore that in high school, because high school hazing's okay. And Emmeline's hazing involves her being basically, because she takes antidepressants and they put her out. They knock her out. And so her friend, Prue, her friend, helps them drag her outside and throw her in the lake. And so she wakes up in the lake drowning. Like, she's drowning, you know, fighting for her life. They end up pulling her out. And her friend is like, I'm so sorry. They said I had to do this for me in order for me to get in. And all I can think is you nearly murdered your friend to get into some elite group that the administrators of the school already said you were in. It's like, why aren't you telling the teachers, like, hey, they're hazing people? And they're like, okay, well, Emmeline, your job is to, you know, cut this girl's hair while she's asleep. And instead of Emmeline saying, okay, well, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to go to tell a teacher, the dean, my father, somebody in authority. No, she goes and cuts the girl's hair. The girl wakes up and she's like, oh my God, my hair. And Emmeline cuts her own hair. It's like, welcome to the group. It's like they were trying to make her seem so hard and so edgy and so everything, and she wasn't any of those things. The character felt more like a caricature of someone who was edgy and hard, but not someone who was. And the whole hazing thing, none of it made sense. None of it. Absolutely none of it. And things like this, books like this can be done well. But I think the author, the book was so paper thin in the way of a plot, in the way of character development, in the way of leading, that it wasn't worth it. I think this book was $5 at Barnes & Noble, and it wasn't even worth the $5. This is one of those books I feel like throwing away. I mean, I'm going to donate it because maybe, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So maybe someone else might look at this book and say, golly gee, this is what I want. But I'm not that person. I like my stories to make sense, even if they're fantasy stories. I want them to make sense for the world that they're in. And none of this made sense. Her best friend nearly drowned her to get into a group that she was already in. So, yeah. And also, too, the guy who made all these clones never prosecuted. Just chilling out on his island. Just chilling there. And then decided to send these kids back because he's like, tired of training them. Don't know. Yeah, this book is a 1 out of 10 stars. It is a 1 star. Recommend it to no one. Absolutely no one. This book, recommended to no one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And once again, I'm sorry for being so sweaty. Whew, love my African fan. Bye, guys.